The Earth fleet's warship pierced the void at 5% the speed of light, traversing uncharted and treacherous quadrants of space-time, when suddenly its scanners detected a paradigm-shattering anomaly of unfathomable proportions. This encounter would change humans forever. Captain Christian Young had commanded the EFS Resilience and its intrepid crew on countless deep space exploration missions, but none had prepared him for the sight now dominating his view screen. Orbiting a monstrous blue supergiant in this enigmatic, unexplored system was a gargantuan alien megastructure, its scale and complexity utterly dwarfing any feat of engineering ever conceived by human minds. Christian leaned forward in his chair, pulse quickening. He ordered the helm to approach the mind-boggling alien creation with extreme caution for more thorough scans, even as a nervous energy crackled through the bridge. The crew knew they were in uncharted territory, facing a discovery with the power to redefine humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. But as the Resilience drew nearer, a sleek, imposing alien dreadnought suddenly emerged from behind the megastructure, dwarfing the human ship. It aggressively hailed them, the hostile voice of its commander filling the bridge. "Human vessel, you are trespassing in Brunali space. Leave immediately or be destroyed." Christian tensed, but then opened a channel. "This is Captain Christian Young of the EFS Resilience, representing the Earth fleet and all of humanity. We come in peace, seeking only to—" "We will not repeat ourselves," the alien commander cut him off. "Withdraw or be annihilated." The Resilience's tactical officer gripped his console tightly. "Captain, they've locked weapons on us. Shields are up, but I've never seen readings like this before." On the precipice of a historic first contact, Christian felt the weight of his next actions. The lives of his crew, the success of their mission, and humanity's future on the galactic stage all hinged on his decisions. As the two warships stared each other down, he knew there would be no second chances. He had to get this right, or they were all dead. Meanwhile, the science officer worked frantically to analyze the staggering megastructure. "Sir, these scans suggest the construct is harnessing 100% of the blue supergiant's energy output. We're detecting science and technology centuries beyond ours. This changes everything." Facing down an advanced alien civilization, Christian understood the magnitude of this moment. Would this encounter spell a new dawn for mankind, a future of collaboration and advancement with the Brunali? Or would fear and hostility prevail, dooming both sides to ruinous conflict? The fate of the Resilience crew and generations of humanity to come now rested in Christian's hands. He had to act, and act decisively, before it was too late. In a bold gambit to defuse the volatile standoff, Captain Christian Young turns to his communications officer. "Open a direct channel to the Brunali commander, now." The officer nods, fingers flying across her console. "Channel open, sir." Christian takes a deep breath. "Commander Oren, this is Captain Young. I propose a temporary ceasefire. I request an in-person meeting aboard the Resilience to discuss this situation diplomatically. Let us find a peaceful resolution." The bridge crew holds a collective breath, the tension palpable. After an agonizing silence, Oren's gruff voice crackles through the comm. "Very well, Captain. I will come aboard your ship. But know this, it is only to assert the dominance of the Brunali Imperium and to lay down the law to you audacious trespassers." Christian exchanges a look with his first officer, then nods. "Understood, Commander. We will prepare for your arrival." Minutes later, Christian, his first officer, and a security detail stand in the Resilience's hangar bay as Oren and his imposing bodyguards materialize. The Brunali commander cuts an intimidating figure, towering over the humans. As they move to a secure conference room, Christian tries to break the ice. "Commander Oren, thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I want to explain that the Earth Fleet's mission here is purely peaceful exploration. We desire amicable relations with all species we encounter." Oren slams a fist on the table, eyes narrowing. "Spare me your platitudes, Captain. The Brunali Imperium has no interest in cooperation with lesser species. You will immediately withdraw from our space and never return. That is the only way to avoid the consequences of your intrusion." Christian opens his mouth to respond, but sudden alarms blare throughout the ship. The Resilience's sensors have detected a massive energy surge emanating from the Brunali megastructure, orders of magnitude beyond anything the human crew has ever seen. Oren abruptly stands, clearly unsettled. Without a word, he and his guards stride out of the room, heading back to their ship. On the bridge, Christian and his crew watch in awe as the megastructure begins to pulsate with blinding light, drawing upon the full power of the blue supergiant star. The Brunali dreadnought disengages from the Resilience and swiftly repositions itself between the megastructure and the human ship. Its weapons lock onto the Resilience, fully charged. Christian's mind races, pieces falling into place. The Brunali's aggression, the energy surge. They're connected. Are they preparing to activate the megastructure's full capabilities? A show of force, or perhaps a prelude to an attack? Facing this escalating danger, Christian knows he must act quickly to safeguard his ship and crew. But he also realizes that unraveling the true nature of the megastructure could be key to preventing a catastrophic confrontation, or plunging humanity into an interstellar war it cannot win. As the brilliant glare from the megastructure bathes both ships in an otherworldly radiance, the tension reaches a breaking point. Christian grips the arms of his chair, mind spinning with possibilities. The fate of the Resilience, and perhaps all of Earth, hangs in the balance. The crew braces for impact, for a future that could change everything. Captain Christian Young took a deep breath, his squeezing hard as he gripped the arms of his command chair. The tension on the bridge was palpable, but he knew he had to act decisively. "Helm, back us away from the megastructure. Nice and slow. Tactical. Maintain defensive posture, but do not power weapons," Christian ordered, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. As the Resilience began to drift backwards, Christian nodded to his communications officer. "Open a channel to Commander Oren's ship." The view screen flickered to life, revealing Oren's stern visage. Christian leaned forward, speaking with conviction. "Commander Oren, I propose we both stand down and withdraw to a safe distance. This situation benefits neither of us. Any rash action could have dire consequences for both our peoples." Oren's eyes narrowed, but Christian pressed on. "As a show of good faith, I'm willing to share our sensor data on the megastructure's energy signature. Perhaps together we can unlock its secrets." Silence stretched for what felt like an eternity. Finally, Oren spoke, his voice cautious. "Very well, Captain. We will withdraw." Relief washed over the bridge as the Brunali dreadnought began to pull back, its weapons powering down. Christian ordered his crew to follow suit, maintaining a wary distance. Over the next few hours, both ships' science teams pored over the shared data. The Resilience's chief science officer, Dr. Alara Chen, burst onto the bridge, her eyes wide with excitement. "Captain, the Brunali have made a breakthrough. They've identified patterns in our energy readings that align with theoretical research on harnessing supergiant star power. It's incredible." Christian leaned in, fascinated. "And they're willing to share this information?" Dr. Chen nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, sir. Commander Oren himself is transmitting some of the foundational principles behind the megastructure's design." Over the next several days, an unprecedented scientific dialogue unfolded between the two crews. Despite the lingering unease, both sides found themselves captivated by the revelations about the megastructure's capabilities. Seizing the moment, Christian opened another channel to Oren. "Commander, I propose a joint study. Our ships can coordinate long-range scans and investigations while maintaining a safe distance. This collaboration could benefit both our civilizations immensely." Oren paused, considering. To Christian's surprise, he agreed. "Your proposal is logical, Captain. We will proceed with this limited partnership." For the next few solar cycles, an uneasy truce reigned as both ships conducted their joint reconnaissance. Gradually, the open exchange of data fostered a growing sense of respect between the crews. However, This fragile alliance was suddenly thrown into chaos when alarms blared across both ships. A rogue human exploration drone had drifted too close to the megastructure, triggering its automated defenses. Christian watched in horror as energy beams lashed out, barely missing the drone. He turned to face the viewscreen, locking eyes with an equally alarmed Oren. They both knew that the next few moments would determine the fate of their budding partnership, and potentially the future of human-Brunali relations. The tranquility of the joint scientific study shattered in an instant. Alarms blared across the Resilience, jolting Captain Christian Young from his contemplation of sensor readings. "Report!" he barked, gripping his chair as the bridge erupted into frantic activity. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, head of drone operations, paled as she scanned her console. "Sir, exploration drone Delta 7 has crossed the agreed perimeter. It's not responding to recall commands." Christian's stomach dropped. "How the hell did that happen?" "Unknown, sir. Possibly a navigation subroutine malfunction," Chen replied, fingers flying over her interface. Before Christian could respond, a blinding flash lit up the view screen. The megastructure pulsed with energy, releasing a concentrated beam that struck the wayward drone. In seconds, the small craft disintegrated into a cloud of debris. "Incoming transmission from Commander Oren," the comms officer announced, voice tight with tension. Oren's face filled the screen, eyes blazing with fury. "Captain Young, you dare violate our agreement? Withdraw your ship immediately or face the consequences of your treachery." Christian raised his hands, speaking quickly. "Commander, I assure you this was an unintentional malfunction. We had no intention." "Spare me your excuses," Oren snarled. "You have one planetary rotation to remove yourselves from Brunali space, or we will remove you by force." The transmission cut off abruptly. Christian turned to his crew, mind racing. "Sarah, compile all telemetry and sensor data from Delta 7. I want a complete picture of what happened." "Aye, sir," Chen nodded, already working. Christian opened a channel to engineering. "Dr. Alara, I need you to analyze the energy signature from that defense pulse. Priority 1. Within minutes, Christian had the drone's full data package ready for transmission. He reopened communications with Oren's ship. "Commander," Christian began, his tone steady and diplomatic, "I'm transmitting all data related to our drone's malfunction. You'll see this was an unfortunate accident, not a deliberate provocation. We remain committed to our partnership." Oren's expression remained stony as he reviewed the information. After a tense silence, he spoke. "Your explanation appears plausible, Captain. However, this incident cannot go without consequence. You will withdraw your vessel to a distance of no less than 500,000 kilometers from the megastructure, immediately." Christian nodded, relieved but wary. "Understood, Commander. We'll comply at once." As the Resilience began its mandated retreat, Christian pulled Dr. Alara aside. "What have you found?" The science officer's eyes gleamed with excitement and fear. "Captain, the energy pulse that destroyed our drone, it's like nothing we've ever encountered. It doesn't just destroy matter, it unravels it at the subatomic level. Sustained exposure could tear a ship apart, molecule by molecule." Christian's blood ran cold. He glanced at the distant megastructure, its immense form now tinged with newfound menace. "Keep analyzing that data. If they have weapons like that..." He left the thought unfinished, turning instead to more immediate concerns. The situation with the Brunali remained precarious, and one wrong move could ignite a conflict humanity was ill-prepared to face. As the Resilience settled into its new position, Christian retreated to his ready room. He needed time to think, to plan their next move carefully. The weight of command had never felt heavier on his shoulders. Little did he know, light years away, heated debates were already raging within the Brunali Imperium. Hardliners pushed for a show of force, while moderates counseled patience. The delicate balance of interspecies cooperation hung by a thread, with the fate of two civilizations in the balance. Captain Christian Young paced the confines of his ready room, the weight of his next decision pressing down on him. The drone incident had escalated tensions beyond the breaking point. He knew the Brunali would not tolerate further perceived provocations. "Computer, seal the room and engage privacy protocols," Christian ordered. The door locked with a soft click. He tapped his comm badge. "Dr. Alara, report to my ready room immediately. Utmost discretion." Minutes later, the science officer entered, her face etched with concern. "Captain?" Christian's voice was low, intense. "I need options, Doctor. The Brunali are mobilizing for an attack. We can't outrun or outfight them." Dr. Alara's eyes widened. "Sir, our analysis of the megastructure's defense grid, there might be a way to temporarily disrupt it." She pulled up holographic schematics, pointing out key areas. "If we modulate our shields to these specific frequencies and follow these orbital trajectories, we could theoretically slip past their defenses." Christian studied the data, his mind racing. "It's risky as hell." "Extremely," Alara agreed, "but it might be our only chance to gather critical intelligence and potentially level the playing field." The captain nodded grimly. "Prepare the necessary modifications. We move in 6 hours. Absolute secrecy." As the designated time approached, Christian addressed his senior staff. "What we're about to attempt is unprecedented and incredibly dangerous, but the fate of humanity's future in space may depend on what we learn today." The bridge crew worked with clockwork precision as the Resilience powered up, shields humming with carefully calibrated energy. "Brunali vessels detected on an intercept course," Tactical reported. Christian's hands tightened on his chair. "Execute evasive pattern Delta 7. All hands. Brace for impact." The Resilience surged forward, its enhanced shields crackling as it plunged through the megastructure's outer defensive layer. Alarms blared as energy pulses lashed out, but the ship's modulated defenses held. "We're through," Helm shouted, "entering the interior zone." The view screen filled with a breathtaking sight, a vast, hollow chamber pulsing with raw stellar energy. Massive conduits and superstructures crisscrossed the space, channeling the power of the blue supergiant. "My God," Christian breathed. "Start mapping everything. Full sensor sweep." Suddenly the ship rocked violently. "Brunali vessels entering the structure," Tactical warned. "They're in pursuit." Christian's eyes narrowed. "Initiate evasive pattern Omega. Let's see if they can keep up." The Resilience dove and weaved through the megastructure's interior, its pre-plotted course allowing it to stay just ahead of the Brunali attackers. Energy beams lanced past the ship, missing by mere meters. "Sensors are at maximum capacity," Dr. Alara reported, her voice tight with excitement and fear. "We're gathering terabytes of data on their technology." For agonizing minutes, the cat-and-mouse game continued. The human crew pushed themselves to the limit, their desperation fueling their reflexes as they outmaneuvered their technologically superior foes. Then disaster struck. A sudden surge in the megastructure's energy field caught the Resilience off guard. The ship lurched, systems overloading. "Direct hit," engineering shouted. "Shields failing." Christian's heart sank as he saw the damage reports flood in. There was no choice left. "All hands abandon ship," he ordered, his voice raw. "Get to the escape pods and shuttles. Move!" Chaos erupted as the crew scrambled to evacuate. Christian coordinated from the bridge, ensuring as many of his people made it out as possible. A massive explosion rocked the ship. "Sir, we've lost Shuttle Bay 2, Tactical reported grimly. "The exploration team, they're gone." Christian closed his eyes, allowing himself a moment of grief before refocusing. "Continue evacuation procedures. We're not done yet." As the last of the escape pods jettisoned, Christian finally made his way to an emergency shuttle. Through the viewport, he watched as the Resilience, his home for years, succumbed to the relentless Brunali assault. The shuttle rocketed away from the dying ship, weaving through the megastructure's defenses. Christian's hands flew over the controls, pushing the small craft to its limits. After what felt like an eternity, they emerged from the megastructure's outer defensive grid. Christian punched in the coordinates for their fallback rendezvous point, light years away. As the stars streaked by, Christian allowed himself to slump in his chair. The adrenaline faded, leaving behind a hollow ache of failure and loss. Hours later, they reached the rendezvous point. A handful of escape pods and shuttles had made it, a fraction of the Resilience's original crew. Christian looked out at the survivors, their faces a mix of relief, grief, and shock. He knew the real challenges were just beginning.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.